Hi there. So I'm making this video because it's so easy to get lost in the world of superstition and spirituality. Honestly, superstition has gained quite a bad reputation around it because of its very nature, because it's so easy to blame on a particular belief when something bad happens. It's really self limiting. It obstructs you to do what you really want to do, or it obstructs you on your way to your true freedom, we can say. It's rigid, it's sort of a rule, and the seriousness that comes around that particular belief or the superstition that has been carried over the years, or over the years, as in, you know ancient times. And superstition is also something which you develop on your own based on your own experience. So it's again the past experience. So there's a lot of seriousness that revolves around that, and attachment to a particular belief, uh, which truly is something that restricts ourselves to reach to the core nature of ourselves. So at the same time, spirituality or being spiritual is something, being in tune with yourself, being in tune with uh, your core values, or you can say your own darkness or universal consciousness. So the more you become spiritual, the more you lose touch with superstitions, or the more you will have the urge to lose touch with the superstitions. Although we can't deny that when you are understanding spiritual concepts, when you are understanding, or when you are merging yourself into the universal consciousness, uh, there are going to be times where you have your own personal signs, or own personal non-physical uh, interaction, we can say. uh, you know uh, Signs or symbols. So that is why it is bound to happen that you can fall into the range of superstitiousness. And there is this superstitiousness in everyone, I say that. And it's okay if you are superstition, but if it is limiting you, that is where you have to, it's if it's limiting you, if it's restricting you, that is where you have to start paying attention, or at least put your awareness to that. So there are ways through which you can, cure your superstitiousness, so that you are able to be more in flow. Superstitions are basically self formed rules, or the rules or the beliefs that you've been following through years, or however you call it. The more you get in touch with your own darknesses, or get in touch with your own self, the more you will want to flow. And this really restricts that flow. I mean, superstitions. And it's really little, it's really tiny. It's not something that's like big, but the impact is big. Even if the belief is small, the impact is big. And that is why you have to cure your superstitiousness. uh, well, I'm also kind of practicing. Even I, somewhere or the other, become superstitious. I follow some superstitions in my mind. And if I say that out loud, I would sound silly. So, the way to cure it is, basically acknowledging it. Sometimes you unconsciously follow superstitions. So, acknowledging it, putting your awareness to that, and ultimately letting it go, ultimately releasing it, if it is really limiting you. And superstitions are not necessarily all bad. I mean, it has quite a bad reputation around it, and the bad reputation is because of its very nature, where it revolves around the bad luck area. But when you are, into the spectrum of spirituality, or spiritual, the more you lose that sense of fear. And superstition is something that's rooting from fear. I'm talking about bad stuff, bad superstitions which limit you. Then there are good beliefs also, which really uplift you, but this is something that limits you. So that is why I'm talking about self-destructive uh, superstitions. So the more you get into this spectrum, this is like spiritual and this is like superstitious, the more you want to, you lose, you start feeling safe uh, in the present. There's less good and bad, there's less black and white, it's all gray, it falls in that spectrum. So yeah, that is the way to release it, to think about it, to acknowledge it, to put awareness, and to gradually release it. It's not going to happen that there is one particular superstition and you can let go of it just immediately. No, it's a gradual process, and you need to respect your process. And yes, uh, when you get into spiritual world, or when you are uh, starting or beginning your spiritual path, it is very bound to happen to get confused between the signs, symbols, and superstitions, and all the other things. So it's important, really important, that you acknowledge and you keep moving. My message would be, uh, there's nothing to be ashamed of your own superstitiousness. There is a bit of superstitiousness in everyone, and if you are beginning your spiritual path, it's bound to happen. Do not be ashamed of it. What matters are your actions and your intentions, and kindly put your awareness to that, and it's fine. And gradually you will be able to get out of your self-limiting, self-restrictive spiral, which is established on basically superstitions. So wish you luck on that, and have a good day. Thank you so much for crossing by on my way. See you soon. Stay tuned. Bye bye. Have fun, guys. Don't forget to have fun.